The Aztecs, rulers of a mighty Mexican empire. They built magnificent cities, composed sensitive songs and poetry. They fashioned a society that was as rich and as complex as the transcendent works of art they produced. Yet they were committed to a religion in which their gods drove them to kill thousands in human sacrifice. From their shadowy beginnings as a small wandering tribe, the Aztecs transformed themselves into the most powerful and fearsome civilization in the Western Hemisphere. Their mysteries still intrigue us. Why did the Aztecs practice human sacrifice? What evidence points to cannibalism in Aztec rites and rituals, and why was it performed? And how could the mightiest empire of the New World be destroyed by a small group of Spanish conquistadors? Discover the answers to these and other mysteries as we explore the wonder and magic of the Aztecs.
Some say that the Indians were born of springs of water. Others say that they were born of caves, or that their race is that of the gods. Father Diego Duran.
The Aztecs cast their mighty shadow across an empire stretching from northern Mexico to what is today Guatemala. They ruled over 10 million subjects, dominating a far-flung kingdom of city-states. At the height of Aztec power, between 13 and 1500, their capital was the largest city in the world. But today, that city is no more. Who were these people, so brilliant in the arts, so fierce in battle, and so fanatically devoted to their religion of human sacrifice? To this day, their exact origin is lost in the shadows of time.
One of the
points specialists are still arguing about is where the Aztecs really come from. Whether the group was already settled in the Valley of Mexico, or if they came from the north. These questions are still unanswered.
Despite the scholarly controversy, Aztec legends relate that they first emerged from a supernatural place called the Seven Caves. From there, they journeyed to Aztlan, an island city in the middle of a lake. It is from Aztlan that they took their name, Aztec. From Aztlan in the year 1116, they began an epic 200-year odyssey. But what drove these wanderers, who, like the Israelites of the Bible, saw themselves as a chosen people searching for their promised land? According to Aztec legends, the command to set forth came from their tribal deity Huitzilopochtli, the god of the sun and god of war. As the tribe wandered, the high priests carried an effigy of Huitzilopochtli with them. When their god spoke, they obeyed. But how did he communicate with them?
Supposedly this image actually spoke to them in their language, but spoke through the medium of the priests. And then the priests would transmit this message, and the original message was, now you must leave Aztlan, you must migrate to the south, and you must obey my commands, but I promise you this great destiny. I promise you the world.
The Aztecs felt that they were the people destined to maintain the cosmos and to see that the sun would have enough energy to fight its way across the sky and that the earth had enough nutrition to bear the crops. And they felt that they could only do this by making offerings, and mostly blood offerings.
According to Aztec belief, the human heart was the most precious gift which mere mortals could offer to the gods. The ritual of human sacrifice was not an act of murder, but proof of their devotion.
The basic rationale for it was that the sun literally subsisted on human hearts and human blood. They were feeding the sun to maintain the universe. They felt it was an obligation for the good of their community.
During their epic journey, the Aztecs would sometimes settle for a time and work the land. To promote fertility, they worshipped the rain god, Tlaloc. Strangely, their belief in Tlaloc would inspire even more extreme forms of human sacrifice.
The rain gods were conceived as infantile dwarfs. So in the cult of Tlaloc, it was considered particularly appropriate to sacrifice young children up to the age of 5 and 6.
The Aztecs believed that to obtain the blessings of Tlaloc, the young victims must shed tears before their sacrifice.
And this apparently was a form of what they call sympathetic magic. The tears of the children would bring down the tears of the sky, namely the rain, which they were always so anxious to promote. And then they would sacrifice them in the usual fashion by tearing out their little hearts.
After a 200-year odyssey, the Aztecs reached the Valley of Mexico. There, at the hands of a neighboring tribe, they suffered a humiliating defeat. They were forced to retreat to the swamps of a tiny island in a vast lake. It was here that their priestly oracles commanded them to search for an eagle perched upon a cactus. This sign, they said, would mark the end of their quest for a homeland. At dawn, they glimpsed a mighty eagle upon a prickly pear cactus. They named the spot Tenochtitlan. Finally, after 200 years, their journey had ended.